Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and um, I want to thank all of you that are tuning in this evening, and I want to thank all of you. If you just tune in, and could you have the opportunity to share? And here again, my name is Funton Daniel. I will be speaking this evening. It's about 4:32 p.m. here in the United States. Uh, it should be 11:32 or 10:32 in ground zero. And I want to thank all of you that are tuning in. I I want to thank, if you happen to just log in, please could you share, and thank you so much. Um, um, I want to thank this is very urgent announcement, and I know it's quite some of you may probably be. I'm just broadcasting on my YouTube and on my Facebook, and I want to thank all of you for getting in. But this is a special broadcast or special request that, and but I also want to thank the Democrat of choosing uh, California representative to the VP of Democratic ticket. But I congratulate, and it's the first time to having um, a woman in that capacity to be a major political party vice president here in the great United States. That's a wonderful, amazing. So hopefully, so we thanks such a development. Uh, so so it's absolutely a change in major landscape of political futures here in the United States. So it is amazing, for the first time in history, history has just been made where you have a woman VP, a major political party as the Democrat. So it is a quite that I want to thank all of you as things unfolded, as they're heading towards the November election that is almost at hand. However, we just thanks the Democrat, thanks uh, Kamala Harris for his opportunity, and but want to thank, but I want to thank, but I want to bring this very crucial announcement. I am bringing this attention to the United States government. The people of Southern Cameroon is pleading with the United States government. It is quite devastating. You may see what is happening in Southern Cameroon is absolutely devastating. It is not just because the world doesn't care. It's not just because it doesn't matter. It is a matter that negligence. It is a matter of negligence. Negligence on the behalf of the world community. It is a total bizarre negligence that you can see. It is quite devastating. You cannot imagine that the world choose wrong. The world community. When I talk of world community, I'm speaking more specifically the 5 members of the Permanent Security Council at the United Nations. You have United States, but I appreciate what the United States has been doing so far. United States has doing a great job, but we believe that the United States can do more than what it's currently doing. And we have another permanent member of the Security Council at the United Nations. We have France, which is the major, the key player that is destabilizing the statehood of Africa continent as a whole. France. France is the key architect that is destabilizing the major African countries. And you can see what is going on in the Ivory Coast. Can you imagine that the president of France is endorsing someone whose term of office in Africa, that is Ivory Coast, has expired? And he doesn't want to give up leadership. And France president is endorsing him for claiming that he wants to become the third president. Just imagine how devastated. France is the key architect, which is a permanent member in the Security Council. That is the key architect that is causing a major atrocity in Africa. Can you imagine? I mean, the people of Africa is frustrated with France's continued involvement in Africa. If Africa can live without France, I mean, Africa can be a better place for humanity. It is devastating, and I can imagine why France is continuing causing atrocity in Africa. And guess what? Because they are permanent member in the Security Council, so they are frustrating the African to even move forward. Let's look at another frustrating thing. Is China. China is a communist country that democracy is never a fundamental value for the Chinese government. And you can see what is happening in Africa. You find certain areas of Africa is ungovernable because of continued China influence. We have another permanent member in the Security Council. We have the British government. It's another devastating factor in the Africa hegemony. British government. It all happened at the United States. United States fought a war to become what it is against the British government. So the United States is not new about the policy, the wrong policy of the British government towards its colonial territory. And that has affected the rest of the other nations. China. Let me take a few breaths. You know, but it's disturbing. It's disturbing that international community is ignorant of facts. But this is what I am requesting the United States government to step up. United States government can bypass La Republique du Cameroun. There is, I mean, all of you have seen the images that is coming from Southern Cameroon. 3 days ago, 3 persons were killed, gruesomely killed by the military of La Republique du Cameroun, and the dead body were dumped in a river in Bafut. The military of La Republique du Cameroun killed 3 innocent citizens and dumped the body in a river in Bafut, and we saw the images floating. The United States can make a significant difference by changing the culture, what is happening in Southern Cameroon. It takes a simple voice of the United States to step up and cause harmony in Southern Cameroon territory. It is not the fact that the United States need a barrage of military to able to step up and carry on action. It doesn't need the U.S. barrage of military. It's simply instruction asking La Republique to respect the boundary. Southern Cameroon is not a conquered territory. Southern Cameroon is not part of La Republique. Southern Cameroon is a nation that should have had their independence respected by international community. Of course, they never did it. Southern Cameroon should have been respected by the Decolonization Act that was advocated by the United Nations. But the British government, of course, it doesn't matter. And that is why we have our citizens being killed. We have one individual that is in UK. They call the Titus. Is the one that La Republique du Cameroun is funding this guy that is propagating wrong information that is causing disharmony among our people. This guy that is a former British Marine that is living in UK, he called Titus. He's the propaganda of La Republique du Cameroun. La Republique is spending billions of money funding that guy to cause. I mean, can the UK government do something about that guy? I mean, you cannot see a gross murdering just because they want to tarnish the image of Southern Cameroon. It is quite disturbing. I think the United States can do better. I am calling on the US Department of State to step up effort. I am calling on the US Congress. I am calling on the US Senate to step up. I am calling on the White House. Messages doesn't act. Dictatorship form of government. They do not believe in conversation as you and I is doing. They believe when there is an external threat that will force the regime to change the course of action. And that is why I am asking the United States. I mean, it is quite devastating that the United States is playing for time. U.S. Undersecretary for African Affairs. Can you imagine that you see what is going on? I mean, imagine we are all citizens of Southern Cameroon that are physically here in the United States. I mean, we get disturbed when we find our relatives being manipulated by La Republique du Cameroun, that they have no ownership over the people of Southern Cameroon. Can the United States government do something? What is absolutely wrong with the United States government? If we are citizens, we are physically here, how can you impression? What is your feelings towards we living here in the United States, that we see our relatives being destabilized by La Republique du Cameroun that has no legal authority over the citizens of Southern Cameroon? It is a nightmare. It is a nightmare. When people step up and look what is happening in Southern Cameroon, I mean, US should feel the sympathy of the people. The people get frustrated. The people of citizens of Southern Cameroon, physically here in the United States, get frustrated when they see what is going on with their citizens by La Republique du Cameroun. US is aware. US knows the truth. US government knows that La Republique has no ownership in Southern Cameroon. That is clean and clear. So why has the La Republique du Cameroun forced itself to be a governed territory over the people of Southern Cameroon? Why can the United States stay ignorant about the plain truth? Imagine we the citizens, when we feel, even in our places of work, when we see what is happening, it is disturbing to the entire family living in these great nations. We feel frustrated because United States inactivities, whether there's a lack of leadership here in the United States, I am deeply devastated. I am deeply devastated. US government is aware that La Republique owes nothing in Southern Cameroon. It was a gruesome action taken by the British government, which was absolutely wrong. If the British government should have respected the Southern Cameroon, the people wouldn't have arrived at this mess that we find our citizens being murdered indiscriminately by an unjust government that has no value of humanity. The United States can do better. I asked the US Secretary of State for African Affairs. He's aware. US Secretary of State was former CIA. They wrote extensively. CIA, he was former CIA director. And CIA has written extensively about the political structure in Southern Cameroon vis-a-vis La Republique du Cameroon. And yet, it's not a matter to take into consideration and look into, say, what is wrong here? Why is so amazing? United States, it takes 24 hours for United States to call a termination of the crisis that is going on. But it doesn't matter. United States just stay put. I think United States can do better. It is amazing that United States just stay mute. We are citizens. We are here in the United States. and we see what is going on. But a government that has no leadership, a government that has no control, a government that has no respect of humanity, a government that never represents the people, the government that was never elected, a government that superimposed itself upon the sovereign people. And yet we are asking the United States, how much can we ask the United States? How much? We're simply asking for equal freedom. Freedom for the people to be able to live happily, in harmony, in respect. It is disturbing. It is absolutely disturbing. United States can do this, can solve these problems. United States can ask La Republique du Cameroun to quit the territory. It takes 24 hours for United States government asking La Republique to quit the territory. And La Republique will respect the terms of the decision of the United States. 24 hours, La Republique will quit that territory. It's been 4 years. The people don't want La Republique. That's all they need. They do not want La Republique du Cameroun. As that is a point clear. Can the United States government do something? I think the United States has the upper hand and the upper ability to step and say no to what is going on in Southern Cameroon. I think the United States can. But is it a matter of willingness to do it? Or is it a matter of leadership? Or is it a matter that they don't care? Maybe it is a matter, it's in Africa, it doesn't matter to the United States. But imagine that we are citizens here in the United States. We are here. And you can imagine the pain that some of us are going through when we see what is happening in our own territory. That we were born. Our brothers and sisters are being killed by a military that has no value, a military that has no leadership, a military that has no control, a military that has no meaning to human dignity. We have someone in power called Paul Biya, has been in power for 37 years. What a crisis for 37 years. What is he doing there for 37 years? For goodness sake. For 37 years. Because France controls who has to be governed. France must glue because the resources are for the interests of France. And that is why France does not want any change of leadership. France doesn't want any change of leadership. France glue on to Africa. And that is exactly what is happening in Ivory Coast. When French President Emmanuel Macron will endorse someone that his term has expired. Emmanuel Macron will endorse someone whose term of office has expired. What is absolutely wrong with France? What is wrong with this country? What is wrong? It is, please, France, pull out of Africa completely. Get out your embassy, get all your military, get all out of Africa and allow Africa to survive. Yes. Enough is enough with this France. Enough is enough. The people can breathe. The people can have nothing. France controls every aspect of their social and well-being. They don't have no access to their own self. Because France must glue. Even the currency. They're trying to create their own currency that they can be able to manage, have some freedom. France will intervene right away. Can Africa live without France? Obviously, they can. So can France pull out of Africa completely and let the people try and manage their affairs? I don't have no love for France at all. I don't have no love for France at all. Their policy is wrong. It causes atrocity, nightmare in Africa. But I am asking the United States, they know all this. Can the United States do something? The people of Southern Cameroon are going to crisis on a problem that is not due unto their own problems. It is a problem that was superimposed upon them by the British government. The problem was imposed on the people of Southern Cameroon by the British government. Of course, they are there in UK. It doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter to them, to the lives that are being destroyed. But I ask the United States to step up and do something. And the United States is capable to do something. But will the United States step up? A simple recognition of the people, and they can move forward. A simple recognition of the people of Southern Cameroon can make them move forward. That's all they need from the United States. And the United States has the capacity to do so. What is wrong? United States has the capacity. I am calling on the U.S. Department of Defense. I am calling on the U.S. State Department. I am calling on U.S. Congress. I'm calling on U.S. Senate. I am calling on the White House. They can step up, do something. The people just want simple recognition, and they can manage their affairs, and they will be living happily. If they simply can recognize them, that's all they need. It is injustice that is being blocked by the. I mean, it's disturbing. You saw the young girl that was taken and brutally murdered on the street. That is what La Republique is capable of doing. That is what La Republique is sponsoring. That is what La Republique is doing. They're making those images so that to show the international community to believe that the people of Southern Cameroon have caused devastation on its own citizens so that they can have glue and control over the citizens of Southern Cameroon. That's what La Republique is sponsoring. That is the financial aspect of La Republique du Cameroun with the US, with the citizens of Southern Cameroon that is residing in UK government titles. But I think the United States has the upper hand to change this culture. This culture. The United States is capable. And that is what I am simply asking the United States government to do something about it. U.S. Undersecretary echoed the message. Thibault Nagy, he echoed the same message, the sentiment of the people of Southern Cameroon. Why simply not recognize them so that they can move forward? Why must they have to live under the umbrella of La Republique du Cameroun? Why must the people of Southern Cameroon live under the umbrella of La Republique du Cameroun? That's the greatest question that one doesn't have an answer to that. But I believe that the United States can make a significant difference. Recognize them and so that they can move on with their internal affairs. Can the United States do this? How many more people will have to be killed that the United States will step up? The people are fed up with La Republique. The people are fed up. They have reached a point where they do not like to be with La Republique du Cameroun. That is a total 100% of the people of Southern Cameroon. But why would the United States simply, the U.S. embassy can do that at the embassy level? What is wrong? What is wrong? I mean, can you imagine that when family comes home and listen to what the atrocity that is coming from La Republique du Cameroun, how do they feel? Harmony? No. Southern Cameroon independence should be like the rest of other nations that was requested. The United Nations state that the territory that were under the German occupy be given under the colonial administrator should be given their rightful independence. So the people of Southern Cameroon should have been given their independence. That is what it should have done. But France is blocking because of the mineral resources that they have been generating and feeding the French citizens and care less about the citizens of Southern Cameroon. They are living on crumbs while France value their own interests. While the people that they own the territory are living on crumbs. What is absolutely wrong here in this picture? I mean, I am calling on the US Congress. I'll re-echo again. I am calling on the US Congress. I am calling on the US Senate. I'm calling on US Department of Defense. I am calling on the US White House. I am calling on the US who is running as a US president for the November ticket. The people of Southern Cameroon need help. They need help. And it's the United States that has the upper hand to do it. The people are fed up with the crisis. The people don't want, I mean, if you are married, why can they not divorce if that is allowed? The people want to be living on their own. And that is a simple fact. They do not want to live with La Republique du Cameroun. And that is their freedom. They have the choice to decide. And first of all, there was never a relationship with La Republique du Cameroun. It was a forgery that was initiated by UK and France. The people of Southern Cameroon has never in any document signed with La Republique that they want to live together. And if they had one document, they have the freedom to choose to leave. La Republique had their independence in 1960. And in doing so, Southern Cameroon was not part of La Republique du Cameroun. And so if the Southern Cameroon got their independence in 1961, La Republique wasn't part. Why must they be forced to live together? Of course, because of personal egoistic of international community that they do not want to stand for the truth and speak up. And that is why people are suffering. Citizens are being killed. They cannot even live in freedom. They have citizens that are now in Nigeria. Almost 800,000 citizens are in Nigeria escaping on their own territory because of a foreign nation, La Republique du Cameroun, that has glued on to the people of Southern Cameroon, that they have no merit, no value, no their own capital. They want to carry on. Let's think about the so-called a reconstruction. Have you seen the nation capital, Yaoundé? Have you seen the Douala, which is their own capital? They haven't even constructed, but they want to construct Southern Cameroon territory. Of course, what a double coincidence. They haven't constructed their own territory. Their people are living under a stream of water in Douala, in Yaoundé, and in Garoua. They have no roads. That is their own territory. And yet, they want to reconstruct Southern Cameroon territory. It's been for 37 years. So out of a sudden, it's now they know they have to reconstruct Southern Cameroon. For 37 years that we have been glued together. Did they acknowledge that we need road construction? Isn't that the moment that they need that we have need of road construction? After all, they have destroyed the economy of Southern Cameroon, replaced it with La Republique citizens, and the entire Southern Cameroon territory has the most brilliant and intelligent citizens. Yet they are being controlled by the governor of La Republique du Cameroon, a francophone appointed officials that glue onto Southern Cameroon. Because the citizens have no 4 walls of education to be a mineral deposit in Southern Cameroon. La Republique has its own territory. La Republique cannot even construct its own territory. The entire city of Yaoundé is in a totally shabby. There is no road development in Yaoundé. In Garoua, it's a total nightmare. In Douala, which is the economic capital, it's deeply frustrating. They cannot even construct. Citizens there are living under the stream of water. And they cannot construct, but they want to construct Southern Cameroon territory. What a double coincidence. The people of Southern Cameroon have got enough of this. Let the United States recognize the people of Southern Cameroon. That's all the United States can do. State Department, they will recognize the people of Southern Cameroon so that they can move on with their internal affairs. The 37 years that has gone, they will restructure to the benefit of the good of the citizens. We want, this is all we need. Recognition. That's all the United States can do. That's all the United States can do. Recognize them so that they can move forward. How many must they be killed before the United States can step up? U.S. recommendations at the embassy should be valid, that the State Department should act upon, and the U.S. White House should act upon. How much? Is it a double that there's a failure in the U.S. system, that there is lack of communication? United States has written extensively about the Southern Cameroon, and the people want to live on their own. That is all they want. That is all. They do not want to live with La Republique and let La Republique live. How much can the people cry and get help? But anyway, I want to thank you for watching this evening.